When I was leaving Nigeria, I knew I was going to miss a lot of things, but especially Masa. Funny enough, the first few times I tried Masa as a child, I hated it. I remember we had to start eating it with sugar, and I think that's when I just fell in love with it. I was craving Masa, but since I didn't have the pan to make it, I decided to make Sinasir, which is basically like a flat masa, because I don't see the difference. I have compared both recipes and I don't see the difference. So today I'll be showing you how I make Sinasir. Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I hope that you enjoy it. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and drop a comment if you're feeling generous. And to my old subscribers, thank you guys so much for believing in this dream. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, share, and drop a comment. And now to the business of the day. I'll be showing you how I made this gorgeous Sinasir. So you're going to start with tuwon rice. I don't know what they call this rice. I don't know if there's like a proper English name. I know it's like local rice, but this is not like the type that you just like boil to eat with stew or something. This is the type that I use for tuwon shinkafa. That's why I know it as tuwon rice. If you don't have that, if you're living in the diaspora, you can use jasmine rice. It is a good substitute. For this recipe, I used 3 cups of the rice, and then I washed it 3 times just to get rid of dirt and the excess starch, and then I added some more water, and then I allowed it to soak. So you need to let it soak for a minimum of 2 hours, and for best results, soak it overnight. You will know that you're ready to move to the next step when you press the rice in between your fingers and it breaks easily. Then you can go ahead to just throw out that water. You can rinse it again, and then add in a cup of cooked rice. The cooked rice I'm adding is not the tuwon rice. This is just regular rice that you eat with stew. So you're just going to add in about a cup of that. You're going to add in some onions and a bit of water, and then just blend it until it's smooth. Then you're going to add in 1 tablespoon of yeast and some sugar, about half a cup, or you can add in a bit more or less depending on how sweet you like it. But please note that masa is usually not too sugary. And then I added in just a pinch of salt to balance everything, and you're just going to mix it until everything is properly combined, and you just let that proof for about an hour. While my sinasir is rising, I'm going to move ahead to my soup. Traditionally, you eat sinasir or masa with soup or yaji or suya. Today I'm using Miyan Yakuwa. Usually you use Miyan Taushe or this Miyan Yakuwa, but I didn't have the ingredients to make Taushe, so I decided to use Yakuwa since I had the Yakuwa leaves. So I started by boiling my goat meat. I had very tough goat meat, so I just put in some water, some salt, some onions, and just let it cook. Then when it was a bit soft, I put it in another pot, added more water, and then seasoned it so that I'll use the stock to make the soup. Now this is the pepper mix for the soup, and then the leaves that I'll be using. I'm using some yakuwa. This is actually the leaf of zobo. So hibiscus is the flower, the zobo, that's the flower. Then this leaf is the zobo leaf, and I'm using some spinach and some kale just for some more texture. The yakuwa is a bit tangy, so just bear that in mind. If you don't like tangy things, you may not like it, but if you like tangy things, oh my god, you're going to love the soup so much. So you're just going to start out like you're making vegetable soup. So I put in some oil, some onions, some tomatoes, and when that had fried, I added some crayfish, and then I went in with peanut butter. So usually we don't use peanut butter, but I didn't have enough granules, and I just wanted to amplify that granite flavor, because granite is a key ingredient in yakuwa. So I just added peanut butter just to strengthen the peanut flavor, and then I went in with some crushed peanuts. I don't like my peanuts like very smooth. I like to chew some of the peanuts when I'm eating the yakuwa. This is how I grew up eating it, so I just have loved it this way. And then when that had cooked a bit, I added in my goat meat as well as some stock and some seasonings, and I just let that cook some more. When the base of the soup had fried, I went in with my yakwa. Now, if you want it very tangy, you can go in with more yakwa. If you want it less tangy, you put less yakwa. But it also depends on how tangy your leaves are, because sometimes they are really tangy and other times they are not so tangy or sour. Then I added in my kale because kale is a bit tough. It's a very crunchy vegetable, so just like it gets soft, so I just put that in and stirred it. At this point I was like, why didn't I use a bigger pot? Then I went in with my spinach. Usually we use green, but this is what is available for me here. If you're in Nigeria, you use green or aliho. Yeah, so I just put in my spinach, I let it wilt, and then I went in with some spring onions. I love spring onions in yakwa, just that the crunchiness, I just love it so much. And then I was here thinking of how I would mix this properly without it like spilling all over. I was like, why did I use a bigger pot? When you've added in all your leaves, it's just a matter of a few minutes on heat or off heat, and your soup is ready. At this point, you just want to taste for seasonings, to see if there's anything you want to add more of, or if there's any thing to correct. This is how my soup was looking. It was really good. It was really good. As I'm watching this, I want to make it again because I loved it. I ate it with so much joy and gladness. So when your soup is ready, you're just going to set that aside, and we're going to continue working on the sinasir. So by now it was over an hour, and my sinasir had risen. You can see the bubbles. That shows that like it had fermented. The yeast had done its work, and now it was time to cook the sinasir. So if you're making masa, this is the part where you use those rounded pans. But since I don't have that, I am using a flat pan, and that is why I eat sinasir and not masa. So I just put some oil into a non-stick pan, and I just added a good amount of the sinasir batter. So you're now going to put a lid and just let it steam. Make sure that you do this on low heat, even though you're just going to burn the sinasir. Another thing about sinasir is that they don't cook the other side. You only cook one side. So it's that covering that will let it steam properly so that it is cooked. So I'm just showing you again how I did it. Just put a bit of oil, add the batter, and then just put a lid just to trap in all that steam and so that it cooks properly. So you should cook this for about 4 or 5 minutes on just low to medium heat, depending on how hot your stove is. But you'll know when it's ready when you have these bubbles at the top, and when the top is not shiny, when it looks a bit like dry or matte, you can see that's when you know that it's ready. And all that is left to do is to plate your sinasir and your Miyan Yakuwa, and you're just going to pour yourself a glass of kunu, zobo, or samia, anything you want, and just enjoy yourself. I'm showing you different ways that you can plate the sinasir. You can just put it flat like that, you can fold it like this, and you can fold it. There's another way that I put it. So anyhow you want to do this, just to make your presentation nicer, just to make it look prettier. You guys, when I say that I love this, it felt like I was at home again. It tasted very close to masa, which is another reason why I don't understand the difference between masa and sinasir. Please, my northern sisters and brothers, if you come across this video, please let me know, is there any like major difference? Is there something that I missed? And if you try this recipe, please let me know how it goes, and make sure you give me a rating. Like, what do you think about this recipe? For me, it's a 10 over 10. Just look at how like beautiful the sinasir is. It has those beautiful marks that masa usually has, and like it was just so soft, so fluffy. And dipping it into the soup, you guys, the soup, oh my god, it was so good. Before I start drooling and craving this food again, I'm just going to end my voice over here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.